Today's video is part of my Elemental Idioms series. I already posted a video with some air-related idioms a few weeks ago. If you missed it, make sure you check it out. There's a link above and a link in the description below. In that video, I promised a follow-up with some more air-related idioms. There's so many of them. So in today's video, we are going to look at 5 more air-related idioms. Hello, language lovers and language learners and intellectually curious folks everywhere. My name is Bakul Soman and welcome back to my channel. If you like my videos, please make sure you share them with others that you think might enjoy them, might benefit from them. Take a moment to like and leave comments. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload new content, which is typically once a week. As I've said in past videos, idioms can be very challenging. And this is because just looking at the actual words in the phrase doesn't really help you understand its intended meaning. You just have to know what it means. And native speakers use idioms very liberally. So if you want to become fluent in English, both in terms of your understanding and how well you express yourself, knowing idioms is a very critical part of it. So let's get started with today's 5 air-related idioms. Build castles in the air. Obviously, it is impossible to build castles or anything else in the air. So the idiom refers to plans that are absolutely unrealistic, unlikely to ever materialize. A variant of this idiom is building castles in the sky as opposed to the air, but they both mean the same thing. That reminds me, there is an excellent Studio Ghibli movie directed by Hayao Miyazaki called Castle in the Sky. It's incredible. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. It has nothing to do with our idioms, but it's such a great movie that you have to check it out. Anyways, back to our idiom, castles in the air. As I mentioned, it refers to having plans that are unrealistic, not likely to materialize. They warned him against building castles in the air, urging him instead to focus on more attainable goals. Or, here's another example. Despite her practical nature, she often found herself building castles in the air, dreaming of impossible feats and adventures. Coming up for air. Literally, it refers to the fact that mammals, if you are in the water, you have to come up for air because you cannot breathe underwater. So mammals like whales and dolphins, even though they spend their lives in water, they have to come up for air to breathe. Idiomatically, it means taking a pause or a break, typically from something that is pretty intense or overwhelming. Here is an example of how you would use it in a sentence. He was working so hard to get the project done that he had to force himself to come up for air from time to time. During finals, she made sure she came up for air regularly so she could sustain the long hours of studying. Get some fresh air. Literally, it means to go outside and get air that is fresh, not the stale air that is recirculating in our closed, air-conditioned homes. Idiomatically, it refers to, again, taking a break from stressful, emotionally charged, overwhelming situations. You will notice that the meaning of this idiom is very close to the one we just referred to, which is coming up for air. But here's the difference. People will actually say, I need to get some fresh air. So in terms of dialogue, in terms of words that are actually coming out of their mouths, people will actually use the phrase, I need to get some fresh air. But no one is going to say, I need to come up for air or you need to come up for air. That phrase is typically used to passively describe what someone else did. Like the examples I gave you, she made sure she came up for air, right? It's not dialogue. It's not words actually coming out of somebody's mouth. You understand the difference? So here are 2 examples of how you would use the idiom getting some fresh air in a sentence. I need to go get some fresh air before my brain can start working again. So this is, again, something that I could actually say to another person. Those actual words can come out of my mouth. Here's another example. Let's all go get some fresh air before we come back to tackling this problem. The next two idioms, idioms 4 and 5, also have pretty similar meanings. Idiom number 4 is nose up in the air. And that refers to somebody who's being haughty, snobby, condescending, who thinks that they are better than the people around them. The other idiom that pretty much means the same thing is giving yourself airs, or giving oneself airs, or putting on airs. They also mean somebody who's haughty, who's snobbish, who thinks they're better than everybody else, who's condescending. So here are a few examples that use both of those idioms, nose up in the air, giving yourself airs, and putting on airs. She thinks she is so smart. She is always walking around with her nose up in the air. So she thinks she's smarter than everybody else around her. After his rapid career success, he was always putting on airs. Even though he gives himself airs, he is just an amateur like the rest of us. All right, that was it for today. 5 more air-related idioms. I hope you enjoyed them. Remember, idioms are a very critical part of enhancing your fluency, both in your listening and in your spoken language. So make sure you learn these, and make sure you come back and check out the new content, because we are going to be uploading a whole lot more videos related to idioms. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.